This project is about making square and other measuring tools. The best thing I like about these sticks is they already come with measurements on them. But I do like to put my own measurements on them and then take some box tape and put that over the measurement of the tape. And this tape only comes in 1 foot increments. So sometimes you have some left over. So keep that tape, and like under this was leftover strip. And so I've done, put white out there, and then I've put the right measurement in place of what was there. So let's say the rest of what was part of this 1 foot strip is now moved and put in here. So now I've got left with the tail end of number 4. This should be 5, 6, and 7, but that doesn't count. That doesn't start the count correctly. So then I white out each of the numbers that are there, and then I write in my own number that corresponds to the right measurement from 0. So in this case, we use some just scrap material, or you can use a brand new stick. Let me get a brand new stick. Here we go. Or you can start with a brand new stick. And then it's just a matter of getting the glue, putting it on there. I'll pretend for right now. I put it on there just a little bit, rub it around with your finger, wipe it off under the table or on your pants. Put your stick there. And at this point, it doesn't need to be exact because I'm going to show you exactly, and then clamp it. So that's not really square, and that won't really work. And you're probably going to cut this off for purposes of pretend. Let's use a different stick. Let's say it's that one. Okay, that looks a little better. So it's not square. If you had a square, that'd be great. You could put the square in there and square it up and drop another clamp on it and then set it down. Stop messing with it. Just put it in square and stop messing with it. If you don't have a square, using a cutting block from the kitchen, either the roll-out one, or typically those blocks are cut square, and because the glue is still wet and movable, just take your project you're making and put it on there. So you bring it over, it's wet, you just square it up like this. Get those ends square and this end square as much as possible. And if you can't, like if it's out a little bit like this one and it hardens and it sets, just sand that off. The key element is to make that square. Now the other thing you could do is just take a piece of paper and line up the two square edges. That's pretty good right there. And then put the locking clamp on it and set it down, and don't mess with it anymore, because if you start messing with it, you're going to bump it. And and we're going to show you how to use all these tools later. So here's one I just made. These other ones with the yellow tape, I've made them a while ago. It doesn't matter. But anyhow, also the small paint sticks, they come with the numbers on them, measurements on them. And in that case, like this is a broken one, I'd cut it there at the 6. This one's broken at the end. I'd cut that square, maybe sand it so it's not so sharp. Put a dab of glue on there. Actually, let's make a T-square. So in this case, you'd cut that square, put your glue in the middle, put that on there like that. Put the clamp. Another clamp. But that's not square yet. neither is this. So what you could do is come over to the edge of a table, which is usually square, and you can adjust it to make it square. You could use some drafting tools to make it square. You could use regular shop square. Basically anything around the house that looks square probably was manufactured square. But you might want to check it. These make really nice gifts too. If you already have equipment, tools and such, it's still kind of gratifying to make your own. There's different styles. So this one here has 2 of the smaller paint sticks, and the medium quart-sized stick is sandwiched in between. And to get the space between, because you filled it here, there's a spacer right here. So that one's kind of nice. So there's different styles. You can be creative, make your own. This one, what we're doing is an adjustable one. So you're going to need at least 5 sticks. You're going to need some Elmer's glue. This one, the cap is not cooperating. All right, we're pretending. So, in other words, I got to go to the other end of the shop and get more glue. So you would put glue on that one. Sandwich those 2 together. Put glue on this one. And glue on this one. So you're going to have 2 sets of 2 glued together for a total of 4. You're going to do the clamping, just as I had indicated. So remember, you got 2 here and 2 here. Then you're going to come over to the square edge of some kind of a table, paper, whatever else you can find, or tools. And when that dries, you're going to have a square, but the advantage is you can find this tape online. You're going to make this the 0 point and come out here, and the 0 point and come out here. The advantage is when you want to make an angle, you place the stick in between. So you see they're not glued together up here or glued together down here. So now if you wanted to do a 45, you would go to 4 and 4. And then put a clamp there and here. 4, 4, or 3, or 3, or 3.5, and 3.5 is all going to make a 45 corner for you. And then you can make your drawing. 60 degrees is a little bit more difficult. It's like 3 and 5 1/8 would get you a 60 degree. The other degrees, 22.5, and some of the other more intricate ones, I haven't tried to figure out that mathematically. But the advantage here is also if you wanted to copy an angle. Let's say you wanted to, it wasn't anything particular, and it was kind of a low and tall or something. You could come over here, duplicate what that angle was, lock it into place, and then take that angle away from that point and put it on your drawing, or put it on, draw your board, or whatever else you're trying to do. So I hope that's clear. I do want you to be a little clever and creative on your own. So these are the sticks we use for that. Next, we're going to, in the next video, we're going to show you how to make a hammer. as I get set up for that. Please enjoy, start a project, go to the store, buy some material, have fun, think about what's next. Bye.